Joining me in the studio is News Corp columnist Angela Mollard. Angela, great to see you. It was such an exciting week for us here in Australia with the royal visit. What was your favourite moment?
Look, I thought my favourite moment was when the King said he was talking about our top tucker and he talked about smash davo, cab sav and pav, and I was kind of envisioning those three things together. Like, that's a very strange thing to want to eat. But we do know that the King now has half an avocado for today, every day now for lunch. He never used to have lunch.
Right.
So my highlight, though, was actually not one particular event, but the concept of a mini tour going forwards. I think it's really effective. It's cost effective. It conserves their energy. They pack a few things into a few days. They come and then they go. And we don't drag on for, these tours used to be 3 to 4, 5, 6 weeks when they took in the entire region. I think a 3-day tour, because effectively that's what it was, they had a rest day pretty much either side, is absolutely spot on, not just when you've got a monarch dealing with cancer, but actually as an effective way of visiting a country, getting the work done, seeing the people. So the whole thing to me was, the brevity was the success.
I agree with you. It modernises it, doesn't it? And it was just so exciting for people to get the chance to actually see the King and Queen. It was so fantastic to see. Of course, there was one embarrassing moment, a moment that embarrassed us all as Australians. And you've written about how Australians are deeply embarrassed by our rogue politician Lidia Thorpe, who unleashed on the King and Queen in a tirade that demonstrated shocking disrespect. What was your reaction?
Look, immediately as it happened, I started getting messages from mates in the UK, journalist mates, going, who is this loon? And I wrote a piece saying it was like watching somebody turn on your grandparents. And that's what it felt like to me. Very disrespectful. Look, I have a problem with the fact that Lidia Thorpe took an oath in Parliament to that she is a subject of the late Queen and any heirs that follow. So she effectively broke that oath. So not only do I see it as a politically she's done the wrong thing, but grace, in terms of grace and how you treat a visiting person, it was just tone deaf, and it also, these are old people and a man dealing with cancer, so you can have your political beliefs, and there are multiple things that she has that are very important to be discussed. And in fact, the King acknowledged those in his speech, that we had a divisive past and things still needed to be resolved. But I think to be that rude to visitors and people that are someone that's suffering from cancer and someone supporting someone suffering from cancer just reflects poorly on our character as a nation. As I said, I felt that it was uncultured at best, unhinged at worst.
It was absolutely awful to witness. Look, King Charles and Queen Camilla recreated an iconic photo of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle on the steps of the Sydney Opera House. Why did they do this?
Look, I think they did it because that's where they were, but lots of people are drawing into it the parallels with Meghan and Harry when they were here, because, of course, same colour clothes. Camilla was wearing a white dress, Meghan is wearing white dress, both having tan shoes, although I note that Camilla actually took hers off a bit later in the day. I think the poor woman at 77 found it quite tough. Were they recreating that? Look, I think that it's just a snap that we get it's the best way for them to enter, because it's the most people can see them if they come down those steps. So I don't think it was a setup. But, for a bit of jocularity, I do like the comparison.
In other royal news, a legendary media figure has labelled Prince Harry a lamb to the slaughter, who's blindly followed his wife Meghan Markle since their marriage. What more can you tell us on this one?
Look, most people that would say this, you would think, oh yeah, they're having a go. The fact is, it's been said by Tina Brown, the former Vanity Fair editor and the woman that wrote the Palace Papers. One of the best books ever written on the monarchy. She also wrote a book on Princess Diana, which was just a seminal text on Diana the woman, and she knew Diana. What I'm surprised by is that I would have thought Tina Brown would be very supportive of Diana's sons. What she's saying here is she's basically saying that he's, as you say, a lamb to the slaughter, that he's followed her, that he's fairly spineless, that he's just sort of in her wake. And she says it very stridently on a podcast. And I think why it's because someone of her stature saying that makes it notable. But I think it's true. I remember when they were out here, the two of them, and a friend and I were there at the National Geographic Awards. So we saw Meghan and Harry. They were right there a couple of metres from us. And my friend said, I give it 5 and 2. And I said, what do you mean by 5 and 2? And she said, I give it 5 years and 2 children. Well, I've made the 2 children. They've had the 5 years. They're now on to their 7th year together. I don't think the couple will be together by the end of the decade.
Much longer. Yeah, I don't think so too. It's hard to watch sometimes, but Harry does himself no favours.
No.
Look, the entertainment industry is in mourning following the death of former One Direction band member Liam Payne. A preliminary autopsy has revealed that the former One Direction singer had a cocktail of drugs in his system at the time of his death. What more can you tell us on this one?
Look, this is so upsetting, isn't it, that he had cocaine, something called pink cocaine, which is a mixture of methamphetamines, traditional cocaine and other drugs. There's reports circulating that he was actually clean when he left America, that he'd been through multiple rehab sessions, that he was in, obviously, South America because he's got visa issues and was trying to get clarification on those because of his previous drug taking and mental health issues, that had all sort of worked out really well. But then he was preyed on by drug dealers. Whether or not that's true or not, it's deeply sad to learn that he had these drugs in his system. It just reminds us again of people like Matthew Perry and other really young people in the entertainment industry. And it invites the question, I think, how well are they being supported? There is an organisation around them that makes money off them, that you know, and in terms of their agents, their PRs, who's actually taking care of them and who's directing them and who's pulling them away when things go wrong? Because they are rich, they are talented, and they do have a lot of support, but that support involves having strong people who can redirect them. And it just makes me deeply sad. His girlfriend also has come out and said that Kate Cassidy, that she and he had been thinking about getting married. So
that's just heartbreaking.
It is. That this life was going to go forward. I mean, we all think of him, Liam Payne, as this gorgeous, shiny boy band and all these bandmates and their tributes themselves, the four other bandmates, their words were so heartbreaking because they really love this guy, and to have him not on the planet, for fans and for them alike, is just deeply distressing. We need to make sure it doesn't keep happening.
I think that's really well said. It's such an important point, and because sadly we've seen history repeat itself. We've seen so many young people who have reached fame at a young age die in their 20s and their early 30s, and it can't keep happening. But entertainment industry certainly in mourning. Angela Mollard, thank you so much for joining us on Power Hour.
Thank you.